Hi friends, welcome back to our AWS tutorial and continuing to the series. Let's discuss today about private IP, public IP and also the elastic IP. These are normal topic, but I still want to discuss it if someone is not familiar with them. So we basically have two types of IP. One is the private IP and another one is a public IP, and you will come to know about another kind of IP, which is elastic IP, especially in case of AWS. So networking is basically of two types of IP, IPv4 and IPv6. IPv4, as you can see, is this kind of IP which have 4 octets, but we also have IP version 6, which is a newer kind which have the 6 octets. So in this course of AWS, in the coming lectures, we are only going to use IPv4. But IPv4 is still the most common format used online. IPv6 is the newer one, solve problems for the Internet of the Things. IPv4 allow 3.7 billion different addresses in public space, which is basically routed over the internet, or you can connect through open internet. IPv6 have 4 octet, which could range up to from 0 to 255. So if you do a calculation of that, it will come up exactly 3.7 billion numbers, which is basically the number of public IP available right now on internet in the usable space. So let's go deeper into public and private IP. So if I have a web server and which have a public IP 79.216.59.75, that means anyone over the internet or connected to open internet can access this machine. Then I have another server which is on public space, which is noted by this IP. It's similar to my web server, could be connected by open internet, and these two servers which have public IP and are open internet can also communicate to each other. So any machine which is on open internet and have a public IP is accessible through the open internet. Then let's come to a private IP. Private IP is basically used to segregate a network of a company or even the universities from the open internet. So all the machines which are inside the private IP can communicate with each other. So imagine if I have a company A which have a private network or are in private network. All the machines can communicate to each other, but they cannot connect to open internet. So if I put a internet gateway in between, then this private network could be accessible, or open internet could be accessible to this private network. Then I have another company B, which have its own private network. So all the devices or the machines which are inside the company B private network can communicate to each other. But to make it accessible over internet, or to make this network access to internet, I need to put an internet gateway. So these are two different private networks which are now connected to internet gateway. Now these two networks can communicate to each other through open internet. So that's the architecture of a private network. So basically all the devices or all the machines, or basically all the machines which are in the private network are able to communicate to each other, but they are segregated from the open internet till the time you don't put an internet gateway. So what are the fundamental differences between private IPs and public IP? So public IP means the machine can be identified over the internet. As I told you, if any machine have a public IP, it can access internet, or any other machine which is on the internet can access this machine or ping this machine. Must be unique across the whole web. No two machines can have the same IP. So IP given to any public machine is a unique IP. Single IP cannot be given to different machines. Even when you give even in private network, when you give the same IP to different machine, you get a IP conflict error and can be geolocated easily. So if you know the IP of a machine, you can just search on Google. There are hundreds of websites where you can put the IP and find the geolocation of the IP. So if I give you my IP, you can search that I'm from where I'm connected to the network. Whereas in private IP means the machine can only be identified on a private network. It's not, it cannot be connected from the internet, or this machine will not have an internet access till the time you don't put the internet gateway in between the network. The IP must be unique across a private network. It's similar that even a public IP or a private network, it should be unique on a particular network. Two machines cannot have the same public or private IP. Either you will start getting a IP conflict on a private network. But two different private networks, like two companies, as I show you in the last slide, can have the same IPs because they are completely different networks. So in a private network, IP is unique on a particular private network, but the same IP can be used across millions of private networks. Machine connect to internet using an internet gateway. So if you want any machine of a private network to have access to internet, or internet can connect to a private machine, you need to use an internet gateway, which is basically a proxy network. So what is a proxy network? I just give you an idea. Like what basically you do when you have a private network, you want to hide the internal network from the external network, which is the internet. So you put a proxy server, so all the connection are made to the proxy servers, and your internal network make connection to your proxy machine. So like this, you hide your internal network and just expose your proxy network. It's a normal scenario where you use private network. Only a specific range of IPs can be used as a private network. So we have an IP network from 0 to 255, but all IPs cannot be used on a public domain. There are specific IP ranges which can be used on as a private IP ranges. Elastic IP. Basically, Elastic IP is a term in AWS or Amazon architectures. So when you stop and then start your instance, it can change public IP. So if I you have seen me using AWS machines or EC2 instances in this course, and we have to restart machine several times. So we use public IP to connect to the machine, or SSH to the machine, or to connect to the service hosted on this machine. But every time I restart that machine, there are chances that the IP which I was using before, the public IP which AWS assigned to my EC2 instance, will be released and a new IP is assigned. So if you need to have a fixed IP for your instance, you need to get a Elastic IP from AWS. So it's nothing different, and Elastic IP is a public v4 IP, but you own it as long as you don't delete it. So even you restart the machine several times, the same Elastic IP will be retained, or the same public IP as the name of Elastic IP will be retained on your machine. You can attach that Elastic IP only to one EC2 instance at a time. If you are running several EC2 instances, you cannot use the same Elastic IP at the same time. So you need to use different Elastic IP or assign different Elastic IPs to your EC2 instances. When an Elastic IP address, you can mask the failure of instance or software by rapidly remapping the address to another instance in your account. Basically, what I want to say that if you are running a service, basically if you are running a web server on Amazon environment, then you have this machine start giving some error, or disk errors, it crash. What you can do, just to run your service continuously, what you can do, you can remove the Elastic IP from that machine and assign to another machine with the same service, and user can access the same service from a different machine and without knowing that you made some changes. But basically we don't do these kind of things on production environment. What basically we do, we assign multiple EC2 instances in the backend of a load balancer and use a public IP as a front end. So that is a normal scenario in production environment. So Elastic IP is used for some testing purposes, but not the way I'm telling you. You can only have 5 elastic IP in your account. Normally, AWS allow you only 5 elastic IPs in your Amazon account, but if you have specific need, you can contact to AWS, and they will increase the number of elastic IP that you can use in your account, and you have to pay it for the time of the users. But I will say overall, try to avoid the elastic IP because in the production environment, it's not a good approach. They often reflect poor architectural decisions because you can use the same IP on a multiple machines, and you don't know what IP belongs to which machine. So instead of using a random public IP, register a DNS name on it. Or I will show you later in the series of Amazon at AWS that why we don't use public IP and how we use load balancer rather than using elastic IP or public IP, and have the multiple instances running in a active passive or active active way to keep the services alive all the time. Private versus public IP. We will do a hands-on in the coming lectures. So by default, whenever you start EC2 instance, it comes with a private IP for internal AWS network, which you cannot use to connect to a machine. But it also comes with a public IP, which you use to connect to any service hosted on that particular machine, or to do SSH or RDP to that machine. RDP for a Windows machine and SSH for a Linux machine. That's it. So hope you like this lecture. Hope you learned something from it. If you like, please give a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the network and share with your friends so they can also come to know about this channel and get benefited by the lectures I make. If you have any specific topic, you can request in comment section. Take care. Stay safe.